This content is based on telepathic communication between the ninth density collective of Ra and their conduit Joe. Welcome to the Book of Derek. Humans of planet Earth, are you truly ready for disclosure? Many may confidently say, yes, of course, and if you're watching this, you likely feel the same. But what about the broader population? There's a saying, there's no smoke without fire. And this is especially true concerning Earth's hidden history. Has the larger population noticed the smoke, or is it only those at the leading edge who can smell it? First contact will be much easier to handle compared to what must follow. This subject runs deep, and the information will be hard to accept. It's not pretty, and the shadow side of disclosure is ugly. So take charge of your lives now before the storm hits, and prepare for a wild ride. We must address the concept of conspiracy theories, which often serve as perfect clickbait, exploited by intelligence agencies and others chasing quick profit. These individuals and institutions operate without a higher purpose, driven by ego and misguided national security agendas. To them, a united humanity is less appealing than a divided world which offers more opportunities for control and profit. Every human being creates their own reality, but that reality is built upon a collective agreement about what humanity and planet Earth represent. If this collective agreement rests on pillars of lies and shifting sand, then the foundation is indeed weak. What kind of future do you want? These are profound questions that must be carefully considered. Is the smoke in the air real or fake? If you feel even the slightest doubt about what you've been told is true, investigate, because doubt signifies hope for humanity. The powers that be fear the truth seekers, for they make controlling the narrative increasingly difficult. The new higher frequencies are working in humanity's favor, and the ruling class cannot stop that. However, the truth will be hard to accept for two main reasons. It contradicts much of what you've been told since childhood, and parts of it are profoundly dark, with the rabbit hole going uncomfortably deep. Still, it is every human's responsibility to investigate and uncover the truth, for you are the architects of your own future. Authenticity and truth will set you free. Burying your head in the sand will lead to another 26,000-year third density ascension cycle. For a long time, humanity has been constrained by several factors, each in and of itself detrimental to the concept of freedom. Together, they form a global societal structure that has effectively stripped adult life of magic, imagination, compassion, and joy. These factors include left brain dominance, an overemphasis on science, patriarchy, an economic system of entrapment, a divide and conquer mentality, and finally, organized religion. Children around the world have grown up in a mental prison, confined to a preset framework beyond which they were not allowed to explore. This condition can be traced back to the Anunnaki, who arrived nearly 500,000 years ago. They continue to incarnate into parts of humanity and, until recently, maintained a strong physical presence in your solar system. The Arcturians repeatedly warned them of the long-term consequences of the destructive games they were playing. Yet, in many ways, humans have facilitated this manipulation. Through self-regulation, you have built your own cage, locked yourself in, and thrown away the key. You accepted the facts of life as they were presented, and even today, many still do. However, we are beginning to notice rebellious hearts awakening, and the truth is flooding out. No barrier is high or strong enough to stop what is coming. The power of truth will break all bondage. Energy portals have existed on Earth for millennia and are connected to the topic of truth. The Arcturians arrived around 2.5 million years ago and established their own network of portals, which serve as gateways for ascension and transportation. These ascension portals will be vital in the times ahead. When an individual reaches a certain frequency level, they will discover portals that connect them with their own star family. However, these Arcturian gateways are just a fraction of the numerous portals created by other powerful civilizations long before them. Let's begin at the southernmost part of your planet. A cold wind sweeps across the icy surface, a breeze so frigid that only the penguins seem to find it refreshing. You've been taught to think of Antarctica as a desolate, lifeless wasteland where no one can survive. Airplanes don't fly over Antarctica, and strict regulations govern who can visit. Yet you occasionally hear of politicians and members of the ruling class making trips to this frozen continent. Why do they go there? These visitors are neither scientists nor are they conducting any kind of research. We speak of Antarctica because it is time for humanity to reclaim its stewardship of the planet. Members of the predator class don't vacation with the penguins. Instead, critical meetings take place between those who create the true rules that govern Earth and those tasked with enforcing them. While we can offer a few clues, it is essential that you investigate this for yourself, and many of you already are. Allow us to ignite your curiosity and encourage you to critically question what you have long accepted as undeniable truth. Your history books claim that certain countries lost the Second World War, and some of you are old enough to remember its aftermath. Europe lay in ruins in 1945, but was the war truly over, or did it merely change shape and move underground? German researchers and engineers were relocated to the United States and the Soviet Union, leading to the rise of powerful new institutions fueled by these migrants. Was 1945 really a new beginning, or did the echoes of past events continue, with shadows still present among you? In Antarctica, the mighty eagle spread its wings wide enough to conquer space. This is a topic for you to uncover, and the truth shall set you free. Antarctica has held great significance for millennia, and the continent has never been under human control. Homo sapiens, after all, is the product of Anunnaki genetic manipulation. The Anunnaki used Antarctica as a base for themselves and their like-minded allies. Being far off the beaten track, the continent offered both solitude and protection. In recent decades, the biting cold and strict regulations have concealed the great evil that resides there, preventing its disclosure. By now, you understand that good and evil are not real concepts. Each being chooses its polarity and lives with the consequences of those choices. Here we refer to the regressive extraterrestrials who follow the path of service to self, often showing disregard and at times even contempt for third-density humanity. However, even before the Anunnaki, civilizations existed in Antarctica, dating back more than 100 million years. Antarctica is home not only to the largest pyramid on Earth and several others, but also to gateways leading to inner Earth and portals to the stars. Nazi Germany sought ancient knowledge and hidden technologies, uncovering many artifacts but failing to make the advanced technology functional in time to publicly win the war. They were not alone in their curiosity. Many nations have discovered remnants of ancient civilizations that would require a complete rewrite of human history if disclosed. Nevertheless, fearful minds chose not to share these findings with the public. After all, when a significant lie is kept secret for years, confessing becomes increasingly difficult, as trust is a fragile commodity that must be earned. Imagine systematically lying for thousands of years. This is the Anunnaki way. They invited other extraterrestrial species fond of deception into the solar system, forming a coalition that served no one but themselves. Where does one even begin to disclose the truth? This is a dilemma many in the know are grappling with. Yet now, at last, a new era is dawning, and the truth will finally be revealed. Lies have been piled upon lies for thousands of years, shaping every aspect of human life: religion, history, biology, science, education, and health. While these foundations may not be entirely based on falsehoods, they have certainly never rested on unconditional truth. Truth has always been negotiable and subject to bargaining, but this is no longer tolerable. The awakened among you already know, or at least suspect, the truth. It is no wonder that the ruling predator class is fearful in these urgent times. Yet, even the 1% do not possess the full truth. Ignorance is bliss. Regressive extraterrestrials generously offered this gift to humanity, manipulating the truth and keeping many spellbound. Whistleblowers have been few and far between, as past times did not foster individuals with the character strong enough to tell the tale regardless of the consequences. Starseeds will undoubtedly change the game completely. As starseeds awaken, stepping into roles as journalists, researchers, politicians, and global leaders, the lies of the past will be exposed, and it will be painful. The deepest hurt stems from the realization that your life has been shaped by lies you accepted as truths, which bred deep unintended ignorance. Accountability will come, but most of those responsible are already gone, leaving behind only puppets on strings and the haunting gaze of oil-painted portraits of powerful men. The responsibility will fall into your starseed hands, and there is no point in judging your earlier lack of clarity. Rather than clinging to anger, choose forgiveness and release. Face the truth, even if it appears ugly and depressing. Share it and emerge as stronger individuals for having confronted your fears with courage. The Ascension portals on Earth will reveal themselves only to those who follow the path of truth. Some of these portals are natural, forming through the planet's processes when specific conditions are met. The portals created by the Arcturians are designed for positively polarized collectives and become accessible as individuals uncover the truth about themselves. Remember the 3 steps to ascension: birth, remembering, and sharing. You are now collectively and individually remembering who you are. As a final gesture of appreciation, you share what you know before leaving the physical densities behind and stepping into the next realm, the 5th density, the semi-physical realm. While Earth has experienced a regressive extraterrestrial presence for an extended period, this does not mean they have exerted control over the entire planet. Many higher density civilizations have existed independently, with 2 primary gateways to inner Earth: one located in Antarctica and the other in the Himalayas. Both entrances share similar characteristics, nestled in pristine natural environments, devoid of nearby surface dwellers. Access to these gateways is not only well concealed, but also challenging to reach. Shambala, intricately connected to Tibet, both geographically and vibrationally, has ties to the ancient Lemurians. This realm cannot be perceived by third-density beings, as entering Shambala necessitates a frequency match. This natural protective barrier ensures that the realms remain separate, mitigating the potential for conflicts that may arise when third-density species realize they are not the apex of creation. As individuals elevate their consciousness to a fifth-density awareness, Shambala will become increasingly accessible to humanity. Agartha represents another notable civilization within Inner Earth. Rather than being a singular collective, it comprises several distinct communities. The primary access point to Agartha is through the portal in Antarctica. Essentially, the Agarthans are extraterrestrials primarily from Alpha Centauri, who closely resemble Earth humans. They have inhabited this planet for a long time, but have never lived on the surface. Nevertheless, they can easily mingle among humans and may be mistaken for one. In contrast to Shambala, which can be viewed as a civilization of the semi-physical realms, Agartha is more readily accessible from the physical realm. In other words, both physical and semi-physical realms on Earth host humanoids of extraterrestrial origin. However, these beings remain deeply connected to the planet. While their roots lie in the cosmos, their hearts are firmly anchored on Earth. As the collective consciousness of humanity continues to rise, there will be open contact between surface humans and humanoid beings residing in the Earth's interior. This event is as significant as the impending first public contact with extraterrestrials. Prepare yourself mentally for the new age that is about to begin. Earth is a vast planet, and Inner Earth is challenging to reach. This is why portals exist and play such an essential role. You don't need to traverse miles through solid rock. You simply need to step in and out of a portal. It's not science fiction. It's simply life in this magical dimension, the universe we call Eon. Until next video, please remember, after the Earth changes, the age of the rebuilders begin. Guided by a pre-birth blueprint, they unite to build a new Lemuria, stone by stone.